Welcome back. Of course, we are going to continue covering the parliamentary elections, which started all over the world with Egyptian expats flowing to the Egyptian consulates and embassies all over the world to cast their ballots and to continue with their share in forming our parliamentary life and our parliamentary future. But now we are going to go to another side of the coin, to the Egyptian efforts to continue with occupying this leading position, particularly when it comes to the continental one. Well, on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli arrived in Johannesburg in South Africa to participate in the two-day G20 meetings, which is going to kick off tomorrow, exactly on Saturday, and he is going to address the gathering. And on the eve of the important gathering, Prime Minister Dr. Madbouli was keen to meet with senior businessmen, with the Egyptian community there, and with the heads or the CEO of different multinational companies operating in Johannesburg or operating in South Africa in general. We have more details in the coming report.
Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli on Friday met officials of AngloGold Ashanti ahead of his participation in the 2025 Group of 20 Summit in South Africa. In the meeting, the Prime Minister expressed appreciation for the strategic partnership with the global gold mining company and voiced his keen interest in boosting bilateral cooperation with AngloGold Ashanti in light of the latter key investments in El Sukari gold mine in Egypt. Madbouli headed an expanded meeting with the representatives of 40 major companies and think tanks in South Africa. The Prime Minister detailed the meeting on the business atmosphere in Egypt and welcomed representatives of the South African business community. He hoped for enhanced economic, trade and investment partnerships with the South African side. Madbouli also reviewed the state efforts for developing infrastructure, boosting the private sector, adopting a large package of economic reforms, and also providing financial incentives. The Prime Minister and his accompanying delegation were welcomed by senior South African officials upon their arrival in Johannesburg, where he takes part in the G20 gathering on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi.
Welcome back, and to shed more light on the G20 summit and on the Egyptian participation in it in South Africa, as Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli arrived already in Johannesburg on behalf of the President. We are very much delighted to have with us via phone our prominent guest, Dr. Youmn Hamaky, our economic expert and professor of economics. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Youmn, and a very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Dr. Youmn, how do you see the main objectives of Egypt's participation in the G20 summit in Johannesburg?
Actually, it's quite important for Egypt to share and participate in such an important meeting, gathering the top 20 countries in the world to discuss the main challenges and opportunities for the coming period for the world economy. We all know that this period is witnessing severe challenges such as trade war and its impact on the world economy, as well as one of the most important topics that is going to be discussed in the G20 regarding artificial intelligence and to how extent it's going to dominate the world. And we know quite well that AI is going to represent a very important trend in the world economy, taking into consideration that it's going to enlarge the gap between developing and developed countries, as well as what we have witnessed during the last period of the risk of the bubble of artificial intelligence and its impact on the financial and monetary international system. So all this is quite topics, very important topic to be discussed, as well as meeting the top leaders of the world and discussing all opportunities of international cooperation and potentialities of enhancing cooperation among countries of the world since Egypt nowadays trying to be mainstreamed in the world economy and to benefit from the opportunities, trying to improve the competitiveness of our product, specifically the industrial sector. So it's of major importance to attend such a meeting.
Yes, Dr. Youmn, and how do you see also the keenness of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli on the eve of the G20 meetings to meet with different leaders of South African think tanks, in addition to 40 of the CEOs of different mega companies, to make sure that there's going to be such a direct contact between Egypt, or between him representing the Egyptian state and those representatives who are really representing different fields of investment, different fields of industry, different fields of trade?
I fully agree with you about, our international relations with African countries, since we are moving towards a free trade area in Africa, in which Egypt is playing significant role. Our international economic relations with the continent is improving and accelerating for the last period to large extent. It needs to be enlarged according to win-win situation. And I remind you, during the presidency of Egypt to the African Union, Egypt has exerted efforts in designing an action plan for the African continent according to the Vision 2063, so that to enlarge the chances for the African countries towards industrialization, enhancing human capital, as well as introducing and mainstreaming women into economic activities. From here it comes that a lot to be done, and South Africa representing a very important potential for enhancing economic cooperation, since we have the experience of South Africa with the BRICS countries, and Egypt is joining BRICS countries, so we have to benefit from the experience of South Africa. It can be considered as a successful experience of maximizing benefit from its participation in the BRICS countries. So I believe a lot to be discussed to enhance our economic relations, to activate the free trade area among African countries, finding more opportunities to enhance economic activities in Egypt for the benefit of the whole Egyptians.
To focus, if you permit me, Dr. Youmn, on the importance of economic integration, because African economic integration is one of the goals which was set by the EU and was mentioned by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in many occasions. How do you see such a meeting as one of the platforms or one of the chances when we meet each other, even on the sidelines of such a meeting, to enhance this concept and to continue to implement it on the ground? It's not only words.
Yes, indeed, all major economies, they are looking for more cooperation with the African continent, since the African continent is full of resources, including rare elements, which becoming nowadays a big challenge for the world economy. So by enhancing economic relations with the African countries, I believe this can play a significant role. So with the EU looking forward for activating, economic activities with the continent, as well as United States and Japan and India, all countries that are looking for a better economic growth. From here it comes that what we have to do as African countries, how to make action plan and strategies towards activating and using our resources efficiently. On top of them, human resources, since we still have a large percentage of poverty, unemployment, specifically for women, still one of the highest worldwide. So this is what we have to address properly we have to address our challenges so that we can benefit from the opportunities.
Also, among the topics which were discussed in the meeting of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli and the 40 leaders or CEOs of mega companies in South Africa was the Suez Canal Economic Zone, and how the Suez Canal Economic Zone is really such an opportunity for all investors to come and to invest there and to use our incentives given to all the foreign companies which are going to have their branches or their investments here in this very important, vital geographic location. And of course, I mean here the Suez Canal with its vital importance as a naval route.
Of course, you know, we have the strategic location of Suez Canal, and we have the Suez Canal area, economic area, in which we have the Chinese, participation, which is increasing. By time Chinese had increased substantially their investment in Egypt, as well as we have the Russian area. We have most countries of the world express their, willingness to come and to benefit from such a very important location, as well as Egypt trying to enhance, the climate of investment, facilitating for investors procedures so that we can attract more investment. So I believe that this area, taking into consideration 5 ports and as well as very important human capabilities, human resources capabilities, and resources in mineral resources, as well as for industrialization and service. Information technology can play significant role. So I believe with the renewable energy too is playing significant role in this area. So I believe that it could attract more and more business into this area for the benefit of the all participating.
Yes, and Dr. Madbouli was also keen to speak in details about the incentives given by Egypt to the foreign investors, and to also cope with the latest when it comes to climate-friendly industries, giving the progress or the leap we did in our infrastructure to cope with that and to continue shouldering this responsibility of fighting climate change repercussions. How do you see this also, Dr. Youmn?
Yeah, this is quite important, and I would like to introduce one of the most, important project, which is green hydrogen. Nowadays in the area, green hydrogen industry is attracting several investors, specifically from Europe in this area. Benefiting from, all the capabilities that can be making such a project feasible economically. And from here it comes that I believe that this type of projects of renewable energy is going to play significant role towards, opening more opportunities for investors.
And the visit of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli to Johannesburg to participate on behalf of the President, of course, in the G20 summit came just, let's say, few even hours, not days, after the leap we are witnessing or the progress in El Dab'a nuclear station, and just days after the South Korean President visit to Egypt to say in deeds, not in words, that we are maintaining our relations with all countries and we are working to even boost them more in various domains, and particularly in the economic investment and renewable energy files. How do you see this, Dr. Youmn, and how do you see this as a kind of to connect between this or to recall between this and that?
I see that the competitiveness for any country nowadays is completely related to, securing sources of energy, and I believe that the best energy mix that can include renewable energy can play a significant role towards the best energy mix. And from here it comes that introducing nuclear power into the energy mix can play a significant role towards securing all sources of energy that may, pave the way for more economic activities, for more expansion, either in the manufacturing sector as well as all other sectors of the economy. So I believe that this actually project in Egypt is playing a significant role towards securing the possibility of Egypt towards a better economic growth for the coming period.
Among the points which was clarified by the Prime Minister in his meeting with the heads of think tanks in Johannesburg and also the 40 CEOs of mega companies is the state ownership policy document which was released recently, giving more space to the private sector. How do you see this as also as a source of attraction, let me put it this way, to attract more FDI or foreign direct investment, Dr. Youmn?
Indeed, quite well we need foreign direct investment to inject capital as well as to transfer technology, which is mostly more important even than injecting capital. We have in Egypt nowadays, according to our studies as economists, we have huge capabilities in enhancing the role of private sector. We have capabilities in our public sectors that we need a partnership. And nowadays the government is trying to facilitate and to encourage the private-public partnership to benefit from the capabilities existing in the public sector companies till arriving to the best IPO for the country, since we are looking for enhancing the role of the private sector in economic activities, generally speaking. So I believe that we need actually in Egypt to promote or to present all these opportunities. I believe Dr. Mustafa is having, the experts that may present all such opportunities for the business society everywhere, and this can, help a lot to attract such investment. Since actually introducing Egypt into the international value chain and mainstreaming it may play a significant role towards economic growth.
And to clarify many points and to assure the investors that they are... Beg your pardon, seems that we lost Dr. Youmn. We were speaking about the important visit of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli to Johannesburg on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. And this is to participate in the G20 summit in Johannesburg in South Africa. Well, that's all we have for now. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more. Many thanks for watching. This was Nirmeen Abdurrahman.